guys, welcome back to Spilling the Reality with Trisha and Kylie, and we are so glad to be back with you guys live tonight, talking about MTV's The Challenge on Paramount Plus, All Stars. Here we are with our own sound effects again. I know y'all have missed that. We're so glad to be back again. And we're going to be recapping the latest episode that came out, episode 2, where we're going to be breaking down TJ's favorite challenge, trivia, a little drama, and all of the fun house shenanigans that happen on the latest episode of MTV's The Challenge, All Stars. All right, guys. Well, if you are joining with us live, you can join us in the chat. But if you are not, don't forget to subscribe, comment, hit us with a thumbs up, and let us know your thoughts on tonight's episode. Here we go. Oh, that was so fun. I'm so excited.
Fancy.
That just pumps me up for tonight's chat. So last time me and Kylie were together, me and Kylie have both been COVID vaccinated. So we were excited to see each other in person. We didn't talk about that last time, and I just wanted to acknowledge that was really freaking awesome. And I wish we could do our show together every single week.
Yeah, it was so fun.
In person, because it
was so fun.
So fun. So
definitely, like, maybe we can do like premieres and finales together. That seems
like a mid show. I didn't paint this wall for nothing, y'all. I gotta at least do some shows at my house.
Right.
So,
all right.
Well, first, before we get like real deep into the meat and potatoes of this episode, I just have to again give a shout out to the music people on this season, because we started off the episode with again another hot track, and I didn't write down the track name of this song, and I wanted to say that MTV, on like Laguna Beach and those shows, you used to put at the bottom, even on some of the challenge seasons, you put at the bottom like
you
the
get
artist and the song, and you're not doing that for us.
So Paramount Plus, please step it up. We would like some creds going out to the musicians.
Yeah, the artists, like, they deserve their credit. I know that they're older songs, but still.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, good. It started off good with the music.
They're bringing it with some good throwback music. That's what we like. We like all the throwbacks.
Yes, and I pardon my humongous bottle of water again, guys. Just trying to get my water intake for the day.
Just trying to hit those 64 ounces in the next 45 minutes.
Let's see how far I get into this bottle by the end of the
episode. Okay. All right. So this episode begins with, hey, we're going to get a little bit of, some nostalgia here of Katie and Trishelle. And we find out like, hey, Did you say something?
No.
Oh. Okay.
We also need to tell y'all that Kylie's having an ear problem.
Yeah, so I'm having a bit of a hearing problem. So sometimes I may just be like, what? Because I don't hear very good right now. Taking some medicine. Hopefully it gets better. But like I literally woke up the other day and I could not hear out of my right ear. So
that's where we're at. We can't even talk about geriatrics because Kylie's falling apart on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, this is what happens, like, mid-30s, and shit like this starts happening. You start falling apart, and shit like this starts happening.
And we're going to talk about that tonight with some of these players.
Yeah, wake up half deaf. It's just what happens when you're old stuck. So, all right. Anyways, so Katie and Trishelle, going to get a little more history on them, what they've been up to the last 10 years. And guess what, y'all? They've stayed besties for 10 years. And we get this beautiful
20 years.
20 years.
20 years of friendship.
A lot. And so we get this beautiful photo of them from Trishelle's wedding. Like,
Katie's like the matron or maid of honor. Like, she is the right-hand girl next to them, holding the bouquet.
Besties. For real. Okay. And so, like, I just didn't realize that they were that close. And Trishelle's like, we're not even going to hide it. Like, we're each other's number ones. Like, everyone knows it. So we're just going to be out with it. Like, this is what it is.
Right. It would be like if me and you went on. Like, it would be
Yeah.
obvious that we're going to have each other's back
Yeah.
to the end. So
you better not do me like this happens.
That's the vibe, and I was really like surprised we haven't gotten more of this, but I guess, like more of that type of conversation, like in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Of
the lasting friendships.
Correct. And we really haven't got all of that. So I was like, okay, we're finally going to get that this episode, but it just kind of ends there. Mm-hmm. We just get the really me, Trishelle, and Katie are BFFs. And we get past that and we just like move right outside to Kendall doing some yoga. Mm-hmm. Also a little random part of the show, just a little bit random. Kendall doing some yoga.
Yep. So, Kendall's out there. She's doing her yoga. We get, once again, a little bit of history on Kendall. Like, she's married. She's got kids. She's a hospice nurse. Like, she's a grown-up, y'all. She has a real-ass job. And she's not here necessarily for the money. And she's just trying to really figure out why. Like, why after all of this time have I come back? And Derek comes out and talks with her, and she just tells him, like, I'm here to show my kids this is what you can do. You can be all these things. You can be a mom and have a career and be a wife, but you can still be a badass competitor too.
Yeah. And I like this. I personally don't really remember Kendall from
she's so sweet.
Yeah, and so like she's not one of these like memorable characters to me where I don't really know who she is. So I really appreciate them showing this. It did seem a little bit random at the beginning of the episode, and then we move into another conversation of Trishelle with Anissa, where we got this flashback of Anissa and Trishelle fighting in a living room.
Yeah.
And Trishelle saying some things that would definitely not fly in old 2021.
Yeah, no. They would
she'd be canceled.
Trishelle would be canceled. But, people learn things all the time and are constantly growing and improving. And so we get a really, really, I think, genuine conversation between Anissa and Trishelle. And, I hope that Trishelle has reached out to Anissa sometime in the past, but then decides to have a real conversation with her in person also, because if not, that's a little sketchy, but I'm not there to judge it. So
yeah, I love that this conversation happened. I love that they showed us the scene and showed us what she said, because it was a very racist, racially insensitive. Yeah. So I was really glad they showed this, and I was glad that they showed Trishelle acknowledging that she was wrong, that she shouldn't have said those things, and that she's changed and grown, and she just wanted to apologize to Anissa for, ever saying those things. And I appreciated this conversation.
Yeah, same. And I mean, I can't help it, but like over the last few seasons, Anissa has grown on me so much. Like, I love her.
I want to literally be her friend. Like, I feel like she's just so...
I want to be her friend.
Genuine and down to earth. And, like, we have seen the craziest crazy of Anissa, on our TV screens. And that Anissa will still come out every now and then if she needs to. But this, like, Zen Anissa, I love her.
Yeah. Yep, I love her. Like, her commentary is just so great. And I'm happy for her to be on here. So, anyways, let's move into this challenge. Ancient challenge history. And as Trisha talked about in the intro, we're going to get TJ's favorite trivia. So, Trisha, how do you think you personally would have done on this? Because I thought this was hard as shit.
Let me tell y'all. When Katie said, I can't remember what Jimmy said 6 minutes ago, much less what Anissa said 10 years ago, that I felt that to my bones. Like,
Yeah.
that is me. Okay, I have a terrible memory. I love the challenge. I love Survivor. I love Big Brother, but that's not my memory. Kylie, even your memory is way better than mine at this
Yeah.
kind of stuff. I can't remember shit. I have too many kids.
Yeah. Like I feel like we are both super fans, but even though I've watched the challenge for so long, whenever a lot of these seasons were happening, I was in high school and college and not as plugged into it as I am now. And so like I feel like I'm way, way, way more well versed in Survivor and Big Brother than I am in the challenge. And so these questions were so freaking hard. So hard.
When they were like, when was the first pole wrestle? I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. And then they asked even harder.
Yeah, they asked
who was in the first pole wrestle. What?
Yeah. And I mean, people got these questions right. So like shout out to them. But anyway, so the whole concept of this is, hey, if you get a question wrong, you're going to take a step forward on the floor. The further out you go, the thinner the floor gets. So like Big Easy, don't know if you saw him, but he was looking stressed because he knew that, ooh, this ain't good for me. But if this would have been Big Easy, his ass might have fallen through as soon as he got on it.
Yeah. Which I don't know, like, really how fair this is, TJ, that weight bearing is coming into play because, like, Big Easy, Mark, these people that got weight to them, and maybe this is the play on, again, you're not here because you're some ninja warrior. You're here because you're great entertainment.
Yeah.
And, I didn't think that was too fair, but whatever. Get them all right, and then you don't have to step out there like Anissa did.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. So the guys go first, and we're not going to get into many of the questions this time because, like I said, they were hard as hell. And props to you if you knew all of these because your girl didn't.
No, I didn't know any of them. I would have definitely fallen through. I would have.
Yeah, I would have pulled the old Kellyanne. I would have hippity hopped on down to the end and just gone into the water.
Correct. But while we're on the men, we forgot to talk about this last week. Can we just talk about Tech for a second? For a sec.
Let's talk about Tech for a
second. We didn't talk about his dance moves last week. Why didn't we talk about that? That was obviously a highlight. We missed. Sorry, guys. We failed you. He had amazing dance moves. If you haven't watched the episode from last week, Tech has the moves, okay? Loved it. I really liked Tech. He was also super entertaining in this trivia because he would get one right and really be very expressive about it. Like,
whoa.
Yes.
I'm impressed with myself.
Yeah,
and at the end, we get Tech and Nehemiah. I mean, this kind of is out of left field. I don't think anyone's expecting these two to be the final one standing. Like, Derek, come on. You literally host a challenge podcast. Like, I'm for sure thinking you're going to win this one. Like,
I thought I thought it was going to be Derek.
Yeah. Derek, Mark, one of you two. That's who I was expecting to
Even
win.
Darrell, I was like, Darrell was going to be in there.
Yeah, some of the people that have, been very involved. But no, Tech, here we go. And
he was on one season, right? So
yeah, one or two. I mean, it's been a while. So anyways, and it comes down to the end, and Tech and Nehemiah, and Tech answers the question, and TJ is like, yeah. No, you're wrong. Pulls the old trickaroo on.
Well, he says Inferno, and then the answer, TJ says, the correct answer is Inferno 3.
2 or 3 or whatever it is.
Down in what you watched earlier today.
Yeah. Irving says Derek can't even form a sentence on his podcast, though. That is very true. If it doesn't involve the F word, he really can't talk. So
yeah, instead of Derek K says fuck.
Yeah,
and, that's that. Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, but still,
so Nehemiah wins.
Yeah, Nehemiah has
And
two guys, and he is going to control the lifesaver.
bum bum bum. That
Dum,
would be a
dum.
really. So I assume that they don't keep it because
Right. It's like a one-time thing.
it's a one timer.
It's one and done. Use it or lose it.
So we get to the women, and they show Katie's fall because she is scared of being. Because TJ asks Katie, "How are you doing?" And Katie says, "I'm not doing good, TJ." And
Last time I was up here.
flash back to Katie the last time she was on being 30 whatever feet up, however many feet high they are.
Yeah.
And she busts her face on the platform.
Yeah, the whole face, the body.
She was doing a run, and it was like what you would see in like a cartoon with the face just like hitting and just and then flying backwards, flipping down to the water. Yeah, poor Katie.
Yeah. Yep, this is rough. And so Katie is like, I do not want to be up here. This looks pretty miserable. So, anyways, but TJ tells them, first girl out, you're automatically going into the elimination. And what are you thinking? Like, who do you think is going to do well in this? And who are you like, oh no, they don't have a chance?
I don't really. So I thought Anissa would do well. We know Anissa's good at trivia.
Yeah, like
challenge things.
Smart.
She knows it.
Yeah. Like Jimmy, I thought Jimmy would do well in this.
Yeah, I thought Jimmy would do well. I thought Beth would be the first to drop, to be honest.
Yeah.
She's 50. I mean, come on. I'm not trying to give her like all the disadvantages.
But she might have dementia.
Like I have dementia, and I'm not even 30. I struggle in the memory department. So, I really thought Beth. And she's a big girl, too. So I was like, she's going to get that first dot and just fall right through. I mean, she's
the first dot. Come on now. Like, she's obviously going to make it to the second dot. Got some hair.
I mean, she just looks built like broad.
Well, she's thick.
Yeah, she's thick girl. And I'm
thick. But, I mean, the guys didn't fall through on the first dot. Well, Biggie didn't fall through on the first dot.
I wasn't paying attention, to be honest.
Okay. All right. But no. Our girl Beth. She's not. She is not going to be the first one to fall through. It's going to be Trishelle.
And we get to Trishelle, and TJ asked her a question, and this is her response.
I don't watch Johnny Bananas. I don't give a fuck about Johnny Bananas.
And that's just a whole ass feeling, Trishelle. Like, nobody cares about Johnny Bananas.
Yeah, the answer was Johnny Bananas, and Trishelle don't give a fuck about him.
Yeah. So, whatever. Put me in the water. It's fine. So, down goes Trishelle. And our next one to drop is Kellyanne. Like I said, this is what I would do. I don't know the answer. I'm just going to hippity hop to the end.
Well, Kellyanne didn't say I don't know the answer. She said, I don't know, TJ. I didn't have cable growing up.
And hops on down and falls in the water. That's how you do it.
That is exactly what I do for so many reasons. Like, for one, I know I'm not going to win. If I'm not first, I don't care. I will jump. Don't care. But I want to jump because I want to be Kellyanne, and I don't want to be Katie.
Right. And that's what's going to happen next is Katie is going to get her second, third question wrong, whatever it is. I don't remember which dot she's on. But, yep, she's going to fall through, y'all. And worst case scenario happens. And she comes out of the water.
Well,
face is busted.
And before we get there, we need to talk about Katie's question. Because it was...
How many people went into the elimination on the island?
Yeah.
I don't know what.
And what season? And so she says, 1. And TJ literally laughs at her and says... Katie,
it's an elimination. There has to at least be 2 people.
Like at least 2.
Yeah, this was like a couple seasons back. I don't even remember what that girl's name was. Like, I think she was also Nicole. Yeah, Nicole from England. And the question was like, how many seconds did the challenge take? And she was like, 7. Like, what? No, like pick a reasonable number. What's wrong with you?
I swear.
So,
Trivia just gets the best of these people. And I think this is why TJ loves it so much because
Yeah.
he was laughing his ass off.
yeah, it's always so great. But down into the water, Katie goes. She comes out.
Covered in blood.
No, baby. I mean, if I would have had the experience that she had, I feel 90% sure that whenever I stepped forward, I would have covered the face. Like,
Yeah, and it's hard to tell if she did hit her face on the platform or on the water.
yeah.
She went like literally like belly flopped onto the water. I mean, this girl, she just does not have the best track record with these platforms and water.
Yeah. So, the guys, it was all smooth sailing on their end. But nope, not the girls, because now we're going to get to Kendall, and she gets to the end, and she gets a question wrong, and TJ tells her to hop, and she just hops right off.
Yeah. So like,
onto the platform.
was she on the last circle?
She was on the last circle, and
she just like goes forward, which is now back onto like the aisle of the platform, and so she's like, well, I didn't have anywhere else to go, and I'm like, no, jump up and down, you lunatic.
Like, you don't get to jump to the end. This is not Katie land.
You don't get to just go choose like another dot from another player.
Jump backwards? No, you don't get to go back towards safety. You got the question wrong. Jump up and down.
Yeah, and I know they talk about this at Tribal Council. Tribal Council, they talk about this, but I agree. I think Mark said it, or somebody, I don't know who, said you should have just jumped off the side if you were worried about it, and that's what you should, or maybe Tech said it, I don't remember, but anyways, and that's exactly what I would have done. If I just watched Katie bust her whole face.
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump off the edge and be like, oh, okay, sorry, TJ, I misunderstood.
Yeah, but she goes and sits in front of TJ's platform, like in front of his desk or whatever.
His podium.
I can't think of big words. Shit. Curse words only for me.
Yeah. So just Derek Jr. here. So so Kendall, nope, she's not going to jump off. But then we're going to come down into a face-off between Ruthie and Anissa. And they are just back and forth, like listing off the places that these challenges have been. They are remembering who's been eliminated, who's won, types of eliminations. I mean, their knowledge is super impressive.
Yeah, I was like, is this ever going to end? And I felt like TJ probably, I mean, the sun was like going down at this point, y'all. I mean, it was almost nighttime. Yeah.
And so finally, Ruthie gets a question and she doesn't know the answer, can't come up with even a guess. So congratulations, Anissa. You win safety.
Oh, Anissa. Anissa doesn't get any of them wrong. It's crazy, honestly. Her brain.
She killed it.
Like TJ said, she is the encyclopedia of challenge knowledge. It's honestly amazing. Yep.
Anissa brings it in this challenge. Good for you, girl, because you deserve it.
So
I feel like Anissa gets shit on so much in the regular challenge, but like you look at these flashbacks of her, and I mean, she's been doing this for so long, and she used to be such a badass. Like when they flash back to that very first pole wrestle, I mean, damn. Anissa was so aggressive and just, you would not have wanted to go up against her. And she used to be called like an elimination queen. And so, the years have gotten to her. They've gotten
she still kind of is like, for somehow she still is able to pull out like elimination.
Yeah, she always gets to the end, but she's still shit on. Like, none of the guys want to be her partner in the final. And so, I can't help but root for her.
I know. I personally wouldn't want to go up against Anissa. Like, she does work out, and I know she's strong as shit for doing all of this at her age. Like, I couldn't do that. I can barely go outside and play baseball with my son and not be sore. So I know that her doing all the things she does on the challenge is
she's a badass.
She's a badass. We give her all the credit.
Yes, let's just get off of her.
we're big T stands for double agents, and we're gonna be Anissa stands for this season, I guess. That's where we're at. She's getting the crown.
And look at us agreeing.
It's weird. Again, this is so weird. If y'all are new here,
I called it first. I called Anissa.
me and Kylie don't agree ever. We normally don't agree, but there's this weird like full moon happening where we're agreeing, and I don't like it. And we gotta get. We'll get past that. We'll get
All right,
further in the
so
season.
let's go back to the cabin.
Yeah, where I was looking for our friend the cat, and he did not make an appearance this episode.
No appearance.
So that was disappointing. I was really, I shed a tear over that.
Yep. So no cat this time, but we get, a little conversation happening out on the deck, and Trishelle, Katie, Mark, who all's up there? Anissa, Beth.
Yeah, it's like quite a few.
Most of the girls, or a lot of the girls, are up there. And so anyways, Trishelle is like talking about the options of kind of who to go up against, and one name that's getting thrown out is Kendall. Like, hey, Kendall didn't really even complete this, so hey, we kind of think she should be it. And Trichelle's like, well, Kendall's kind of good. Like, I don't necessarily want to go up against her. And Anissa's like, yeah, let's get her out. Like, this is a great opportunity.
Yeah.
And Trichelle's looking at Katie like, Katie, you are my friend. You need to step up, and you need to say somebody else that's super easy that I want to pick. Where you at?
But honestly, I was thinking, and I was like, I don't really know who's easy. Like, who is easy? Here?
Right. I mean,
because all of these girls, the girls cast is so badass. I think like they outweigh the guys tenfold, in my opinion. I mean, maybe Arissa, she looks a little.
Yeah, she looks full, but she seems super nice. But she looks.
We'll get there in tribal because I got some comments on her on tribal.
Okay, she looks frail, and so that's probably who I would pick. Like, if I'm looking at everybody, I'm probably gonna pick Arissa. Like,
yeah, I don't think she didn't get like one question right. Yeah. I don't think she did. So she's easy. Like, target her.
And I'm thinking, okay, if it's something physical, I probably want to go up against her. Like, she doesn't have.
I would literally make up beef just to be like, give her to me. Like, we fought 14 years ago. At my wedding, she threw drinks, and she wasn't even invited. That bitch, like,
I want her. This is my time, so taking out my revenge. So, anyways, but finally, Trishelle's like, you know what? Y'all surprised me. Like, it doesn't matter. Whoever y'all think is who needs to go in, that'll be fine with me. So, off to tribal council they go, into the woods to sit on their little stumps.
Over the woods. Through the woods, over the river, to grandmother's house we go. Right to tribal.
Yep. So they're down, and they say, okay, Trishelle doesn't really have a preference, whoever we want. So let's open this up for discussion. And our girl Hisela, we haven't gotten to talk about her yet today. She is going to bring the fire in tribal council, and she's going to say, you know what? It's time for me to call some people out. And I'm going to call you out, Kendall. Explain yourself.
Yeah, someone said Kendall, like, they were like, who fell? Someone makes the comment, like, who fell after Trishelle? Like, shouldn't they? And they're like,
Kendall does eventually. Kendall's like, I don't think it should be me. I think it should be the person that fell after Trishelle, the second worst person. And Hisela is like, well, that's me, boo. But I did my part. I fell into the water. You hopped off the edge. Fall in.
Yeah.
And you're the only one.
Right. And so, Hisela, so I'm going to call you out at this point, which I agree with all of them. Like, if you're just not going to even try at that point, like, you've got to go down. You didn't prove yourself in the challenge, the daily challenge. You're going to have to prove yourself in the elimination challenge.
Yeah. And Kendall goes into this long-winded explanation of like, well, I got to the end and I hopped and I was like, do I turn?
I'm glad you heard any of that because she was talking so jittery and so fast. I did not even, I was so distracted by how she was talking. I could not even concentrate on what she was actually saying.
I think she was on the verge of tears the whole entire time. Like,
She was definitely nervous. Like,
she was fixing to cry. And
So nervous.
I can relate to that because I'm a crier. Like, when I get super mad or super like invested or emotional in something, I'm like an angry crier. And it's so frustrating because you don't want people to think that you're weak or that you cry easily. And so
then you're like pissed that you're crying and you're like, I swear I'm like not even meaning to cry. Like, I'm not sad. I'm just really pissed.
Yes. And so, anyways, the vote starts going around Kendall, till we get to Darrell.
Arissa, wait, before we get to Darrell, Arissa again says, I really don't want to do this. And sorry, Kendall. And I'm okay. It was fine when you did it with Ace, but you can't do this every week, Arissa. You can't do this every single week. I'm sorry, I don't want to do this. Just do it.
Just say a name. Just jump
If
on
you don't
board.
want to vote for her, vote for someone else. Like, vote for yourself. Like,
yeah, you already know that you're not going to go in, so just say anybody's name. And what does the king vote thrower Darrell do? He says, I'm going to say a different name. I'm going to say Katie. So, like, this is what
we get a little explanation because him and Kendall were partners when he won, and he has a connection with Kendall. So he's like, I don't necessarily want to throw
road rules. They were on their road rules together.
Yes.
They have a friendship. That's fine. But Darrell also notoriously throws votes.
Yes, he does. And he's not doing it privately this season. He's doing it very publicly. So, yeah, go Darrell.
All right.
I would rather that, though, than I really don't want to do this.
Yeah. So, Kendall, you're going in. Kendall versus Trishelle. Dum-dum. Battle.
But that's not the only verses that we get with Trishelle. We moved right from Tribal Council because we don't have commercials. Shout out to Paramount Plus.
If you're paying $9.99 like we are. if you're doing $4.99, you still have
$5.99. You get them ads. I'm sorry. Anyways, that also reminds me really quickly of just a story when I was a kid. Y'all know I have these like random stories. When I was a kid, I remember this conversation with this girl in my class in 4th grade, and we were talking about commercials and how much we hated commercials. This was before DVR and TiVo and the internet. And so, yeah, like commercials you couldn't get rid of them back in the day. Okay. And, but we were like, it would be so cool if they only had commercials for Barbies. Like, we just wanted commercials for Barbies because we like Barbies. We were 9 or 10. And the girl, I will never forget, the girl said, and Dr. Pepper. She wanted to know, like,
that's a true Texan.
The latest Dr. Pepper.
Like, we can have commercials for Dr. Pepper, Whataburger, and Bluebell. And Barbies.
It was so funny, and I'll just never. It's just y'all know there's those conversations that you'll never forget.
Yeah, that's right.
That's one of them. Anyways, so this isn't the only verses that we get. We get right from Tribal Council into ding 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 round 2 for Trishelle. We move into Trishelle versus Katie.
Yeah, so they get back to the house and Katie decides, you know what? I'm hungry. I'm going to fix myself a plate of food. We'll get up to Trishelle in a little bit, and I'll break the news to her who's going against her. But in the meantime, old Derek K, he's run upstairs, and he's like, no one's come to talk to you yet? Well, this is awkward.
Yeah, and it is awkward. And Trishelle's not happy about it. So let's pause there. Okay, let's pause there. Who are you in this situation? Trishelle or Katie?
I mean, TBH, I'm going to be pissed at Katie if I'm Trishelle. Like, come up and tell me who I'm going against. Then go make your ass a plate of food.
Hell no. Okay, here's where we're going to have a disagreement right here, guys, because I'm like, the girl is hungry. Why does it matter how quickly you know? Like, also, Trishelle, walk your ass downstairs. I know you hear them down there eating. Like, you can go down there too. shit, just go eat. Go eat with them and be like, who am I going against? They'll all
Okay.
tell you. It's
As
not
my
secret.
friend, I want you to come up and tell me
Oh,
who everyone has voted in against me.
the drama.
We said in this part of the situation, okay? So in this
Yeah.
part of the situation, Trishelle, I agree with you. Katie should have come and told you. It shouldn't have been Derek.
Like Trishelle should have got her ass up and went down there and got herself some food.
Okay. But anyway, so Trishelle is pissed and she's gonna let Katie know, like, what? What the hell? You should have come and told me. And Katie's like, I'm hungry. Like, I made myself a plate of food and then I came up here. It's not that big of a deal.
Not that big a deal. Yeah. And then, all of a sudden it's 4:12 a.m.
Yeah. Woo, y'all.
And it's still going.
Last to 4:12 a.m. where we get a shout. You fucking bitch. Whoa, y'all. This is what we've been missing from the regular season of the challenge.
100.
This one right here. This true, not manufactured confrontation, because you didn't come tell me who I'm going up against in an elimination. You made yourself a plate of food, so we're going to rehash some shit for 16 years.
All of the feelings from the past 20 years are coming out right now. And
right
Stella says it best when she says, I think when we walked into this house, the challenge from 20 years ago came out in us.
Yes. Like, we've all been, grown-ups doing grown-up things, but we got here and nope, we've reverted. Our friend Bob's in the chat and he says, yeah, the bitch can come down and find out for herself.
And I agree, Bob.
All right, so 16 years of stuff fixing to be rehashed. And now this is where I'm going to have to switch sides a little bit. Like, Trishelle, why, baby? Why are you bringing some of these things up? Like, well, when we were roommates, I used to do this for you. And Katie's like, girl, like,
we were roommates 20 years ago.
20 years ago. Like, I'm a mom and I'm a wife. Like, what? Why are you rehashing this? This is crazy. And now she's right. This is crazy. Why?
If you keep me up till 4:12 a.m., like, first of all, you didn't want me to eat. You wanted me to come tell you first, I'm hungry. Okay? And you ain't stopping me from food. And now you're going to stop me from sleeping?
Well, I mean, okay, but do we know, like, was this conversation going on the whole time and it escalated to you fucking bitch? Or
no way they woke up. There is no way they woke up that early and were like, let's just keep going. Right? Like, shit.
I need some more info. Like, did they stop and then they came back to it? Or was this
not a time-lapse production?
Yeah.
So that,
But, I mean, I'm just loving this piece of the production work of 4:12. Here we go.
4:12, random as hell, but here we are. And it ends with Katie telling Trishelle, well, then tell Nehemiah to tell old Tenderoni, not Tenderloni. Ha! Tenderoni. Oscar Mayer Aroni, to use his lifesaver on Kindle and send me in against you.
Yeah. And I mean, y'all, Trishelle, this is it. Trishelle is coming back. And some of the things that she's saying during this argument are so golden. Like, Katie's like, you need to let it go. She's like, you need to let it go. I'm like, she has let it go. What are you talking about? And, like, you ain't no ride or die bitch.
Yeah.
So I need to know, Trisha, are you a ride or die bitch or?
Well, let me tell you, Kylie, I am ride or die until you come between me and my food and me and my sleep, okay? Because then I'm out. I am hop out the car. You go die by yourself, okay?
So she's like ride or die till a certain time. What time? 3? 2?
Oh, well, the food. So it depends on if I get food or not. And then, probably like midnight. It's cut off.
Okay.
For sure. Depending on the time zone. But midnight.
Ride or die till midnight. That's
Central Standard Time.
Ride or die till midnight.
Central Standard Time.
Central Standard Time. And dinner time
Fair
starts
enough.
promptly at
But
7.
if we're in New York, you got till 1 a.m. there. But
Jeez. Okay. All right. So Trisha's also not a ride or die bitch. Like, you're Katie, I'm Trishelle. I'm
I'm
looking
out.
for a ride or die. I'm looking for a
We
ride or die.
luckily got some confessionals. So as soon as this was happening, I was like, let me go on Instagram right now and see what they're saying on live. What are they saying on Twitter? What's happening today? But no worries, because production has us covered. We get some confessionals from Katie, and she's telling us, you know what? We've just grown apart.
Yeah.
And I'm like, y'all have, clearly, because Katie definitely isn't the Katie we had 20 years ago as of yet.
She's in there a little bit.
She's in there a little bit, but not even to
Not
the
the same
level.
level.
No, she's still busting her face and shit, but she ain't busting other people's face. And Trishelle, I feel like, is still a lot of the Trishelle we had 20
Yes.
years ago.
It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I'm definitely here for it for my TV screen, but I would also have to bounce if I was Katie.
Yeah. All right. So back to the arena we go, and it is an old favorite. Not so fast. Not with a K, y'all. And we're fixing to tie some ropes up onto the jungle gym, and they've got like 10 minutes. Tie the knots up, move your ropes all around, and then the other person has to untangle it. First one to pull it all out wins. So when you're looking at this, I mean, I'm thinking, okay, Trishelle and Kendall, like, y'all look pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, agree. I don't know. Again, like, I don't really remember Kendall, so I don't really know. All I know of her as of recent memory, obviously, is just her doing yoga
Multiple times a day.
She seems nice. So I just don't really know about her. I also don't know about Trishelle. Trishelle seems to have some weight on Kendall, so I'm like, Trishelle might pull this one out just because she can use her weight to pull the
and Trishelle has some height on her too. Something else. If she's gonna, be climbing up all the way to the top, like, this is where being a shorty like me could really, come into play here.
Yeah. Also, speaking of you being a shorty, I feel like we should have taken a picture, and so that way we could post it on our social media so people can see our height difference, because we reference it so often.
I mean, like, this is legitimate. Like, how you're seeing us right now, like, this is real life. Like,
yeah, this is like, well, I like, Kylie literally probably goes to like my armpit. She's tiny. But yeah, and so this challenge starts, and it literally isn't going at all how I thought. It's like turtles.
Yeah, once again, this is the geriatric version. I feel like we have seen this really, really badass from women recently. Like, I'm trying to think. I feel like it was Camilla and like Laurel or somebody not that long ago that did this. And I mean, they had loops all over the whole damn jungle gym, knots tied. I don't know if they got more time or if just genuinely were more fit and able to do more in the amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, but we just saw also from Kyle, and who did Kyle go against? Just the season before last.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember, but they were like tying that shit up, like in and out. I don't remember, but
I mean, CT and Jay kind of did like the same version.
But that was,
but without the jungle gym.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like, what is your strategy? Are you going to be climbing to the top and like throwing yourself over the bars, or are you gonna, because we don't see Kendall go to the top at all, and I feel like Darrell is the MVP here, because he's telling Kendall, like, Kendall, go back through that little bitty tiny space there. And Kendall's so tiny, y'all. And she is just weaving in and out of these little bitty holes in between the knots. And that's where it's at. Like, I don't think how high up you climb or anything else matters. What matters is just getting into a big old cluster. And that's what Kendall does. Like, when TJ blows the horn for them to switch, like, Trishelle's went up to like the top rung And Kendall's is all like a big rat's nest right at the bottom, but it's a tangled mess.
Yeah. My strategy going in it would be that I'm gonna climb to the top. I don't think I would even like pull all of my rope with me because that's just gonna waste my energy. It's hooked onto me. Me and my little rope, we're gonna go for a trip, okay? And I'm just gonna tie it that way. And then when I get towards the end, I'm gonna do a bunch of these knots, but you're going to go through those knots first when you come into this, and then you're going to be going up and down and up and down. And I'm really just going to do the most that way. That's
Okay, I like that. I like that plan. I mean, I'm short. I don't even know if I'd be able to reach like from one rung to the next. So I'm probably going to have to take the Kindle strategy, and I'm going to have to knot it all up at the bottom.
Yeah,
I'm going to make your ass crawl on the ground.
Even whenever we get to Kendall doing the confessional before the challenge, she still sounds so nervous. So I'm just like,
she's fixing to cry.
She just sounds like she's on the verge of tears, and I'm like, I think she's going to lose because she's going to get in her head. But how she's talking, like she's really hyping herself up in this, I don't know, really nervous tone. But so I just don't know how she's going to do. I think if she just would have had the nervous tone and didn't hype herself up, I was like, she's definitely going to lose. But she didn't do that. So,
yeah. And so when they get ready to switch, like, honestly, Trishelle's was super easy to unknot, and Kendall blows her out of the water. And
whoa, you skipped a very major part of this episode where we got to hear, listen to your heart.
You're so crazy.
It's talking to you. And I was like, it was like the part was like, you don't know where you're going. You don't know where you are. Like this part, I was like, it was like a joke kind of to Trishelle, I guess, because the camera was on her. And I just really appreciated this.
Yeah.
I loved this. Like, I love that song.
I missed that. So good on you for picking up on it.
Love
I'll have to
song.
go back and watch it again and, catch it out a little bit.
It was just, y'all, this season, I'm freaking loving it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Nope. Kendall blows her out of the water. Kendall wins. And, I think this is great because Kendall seems like such a nice person, like genuinely, but this
Were
is trash.
you like slightly hoping Trishelle would come back and blow the house up?
Yes. Like, no, I'm so sorry. Like, Kendall, you're so nice. And I would love to see you on the regular season.
And I would love to see you do some more yoga, but girl, I was ready for Trishelle to come in there.
We wanted Trishelle back. We needed the drama.
Trashelle.
And, Kendall's even said, like, I'm here to show that you could play this game without being dirty and dishonest. No, that's not what we want. We want the dirty and we want the dishonest. We want the backstabbing. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Give the people what they want.
Give the people what we want. They don't have to get gold skulls this season. So will we see Kendall go back in soon? Like, maybe
I don't know. I mean, like, she is a very, very fit girl, and so I could see a lot of people not wanting to go against her.
Right. Like, I wouldn't. I mean, after she did that, I'd be like, okay, you're good. Thanks for proving yourself.
Yeah. Like, I mean, she's not gonna be my first choice to go up against.
No, but who is? Honestly, all of these girls are badass. I would rather go.
I mean, like, if I'm looking at the lineup,
Arissa's not there. Just say not Arissa. Anyone else? Who are you?
Okay. I mean, if I'm looking at the lineup, I'm probably going to pick John A., Beth, or Jimmy. Like, those three stand out to probably be.
I'm not going against Beth. Like, she's old, but that girl is built like a dang pit bull.
Okay. Well, I think those three stand out to being like, okay, these are the ones that I'm willing to go up against. Not going against Kellyanne. I'm not going against Ruthie.
No. I'm not going against Anissa.
I'm not going against Anissa because she's my best friend now.
Obviously.
Yeah. So.
Well, speaking of Anissa, we do get the premiere of the next episode and a little preview. And it is
the
Ruthie versus Anissa.
I'm here for it. I cannot wait. This is going to be so amazing.
I'm excited for more drama. Like, y'all, there's just all the drama. Y'all, this season is everything I needed. It really is.
Like whenever we didn't watch the episode at the same time, and so when I got done, we have a group message with me and Trisha and Frank, and I sent a message to them and was like, they could cancel the regular season of the challenge and just continue to do this. Like, I'm totally fine with it being shorter episodes, a shorter season. I don't care. This is great. Like, please bring this back.
Yes, and I love.
So, shout
I
out to the geriatrics for bringing the entertainment.
Really bringing the entertainment. I mean, we got Big Brother All Stars this season. That was boring as hell. We got this Double Agents, boring as hell. And so whenever we're in quarantine and we're going from things like Tiger King to these quote unquote Big Brother All Stars, boring, to Double Agents, boring. I'm sorry. This is what I was looking for.
Thank you, All Stars.
If there is a different production team on this versus Double Agents, this team is the A team, and y'all need to continuously have them producing everything. Thank you.
Yes. Just again and again and again. Bring these people back. And, like, I don't know, if y'all look for the spoilers for like the next season, but I mean, some of the names that are being thrown out there for the Challenge 37, why? Like,
yeah,
why are these 22 people not on your speed dial? I mean, I know that some of them are not going to be able to do a long game because they are, have careers and families and stuff, but I'm sure that some of them can. And we need as many of them on the screen as we can get, and not some of the people that y'all are talking about bringing. Like, what are you doing?
Yes. So if you don't follow us on Twitter at reality_TK, we are retweeting the spoilers for the season. Not the spoilers itself, it's just the thread. So you have to click on it and go through it yourself. From GamerVev, who is a reliable source when it comes to spoilers. Yeah, you should follow us. And if you're looking for that kind of information or any of the latest and greatest challenge, Big Brother, Survivor, whatever, related to reality TV, you should go follow us at RealiTEA_TK. That's RealiTEA_TK on Instagram and Twitter. And don't forget to give our new channel a follow at 4, the number 4, the Fans E, for the Fans E. That's for the Fans Entertainment on Instagram and Twitter. Check us out. And again, posting all kinds of great content. We are pretty much a one-stop shop for giving you the latest reality TV news. So looking forward to interacting with you guys on our social media. Don't forget to hit us with a thumbs up. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, y'all. We're on a new channel. We need all the subscribers we can get. Drop us a comment on your thoughts on our episode and the episode from this week's Challenge All Stars. We are looking forward to interacting with you guys there. What else, Kylie?
That's it. Looking forward to next week's episode because it already looks super great. Can't wait.
Yes. So y'all, we'll be back here at 8:45 Central Standard Time next week after we watch the episodes, and we'll be tweeting and Instagramming and doing all the things that you cool kids do these days.
All you cool cats and
kittens. All right. We will see y'all later. And this is how much water I drank. I just got to like where the label is.
Halfway.
So, yeah.
Mine's a lot smaller and I didn't finish. So
I'll still cheers y'all from my Pioneer Woman teacup. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Bye, guys. Cheers.